So last what we have discussed, last we have discussed about the different models like waterfall models, V model, and other iterative models and all. So we have learned that five models. Okay. So I told you that agile methodology, agile model. This is methodology as well as model. Okay. So this is one of the model which nowadays 80 to 90% of the IT industries are using that. Okay. So you have to understand this. This is a very vast model. Okay. And if you have a knowledge on agile, then it's a plus point for you to work in any of the IT industry. Okay. So yeah, so this is the one thing. Okay, so understand the concepts. Okay, this is a vast thing because it will really help you in any of your company, because everyone asks you, are you know what do you understand by agile model? So you should have a brief, you should have a good understanding of it that will help you in near future in going forward. Okay, so okay, one second. Okay, fine, one second. Yeah. So first of all, in agile model, what we have, yeah, in agile model, what we have a called sprints. Okay, sprints. Understand the terminologies. Sprint. What is a sprint? That day I told you in agile methodology, in agile model, we work in a chunks, in a iterations. Like for example, one part of requirement came and you started working on it. Then once you complete that work, then again a chunk of work or requirements will come to you. Development team will develop and testing team will test the application, and then again the new requirement comes. So like it's in a chunk. It should not like ki client has come and said, boss, these are the requirement. On the basis of that, now prepare the complete Facebook application. No, this is not the case. Okay, here what he what client asks you, that please work on only two requirements, not on the complete Facebook model. Likewise, we have a Gmail. So client will not say you that please prepare the complete Gmail application. That includes each and everything. No, here client will told to you that boss, please work only on the sent items, outbox and the inbox. Okay, so this is first thing. That means last time I have explained you that client has given the requirement in a small requirements. In the first part, only inbox, compose, and what we have, yeah, inbox, compose, and sent item. Okay, uh, client is saying, boss, only work on these three requirements. Okay, once developer will develop it, testing team will test it. Okay, that three requirements completed. Now again, what you do, you will give the demo to the client. See, I have created a Gmail app with three requirements only, that is inbox, sent item functionalities, and the outbox. Okay, now you will give the demo to the client. Okay, client says, okay, yeah, it is looking fine, looks and feel is good. If any improvement is needed, then client will let you know that, boss, please change this thing. Then that change thing, it's itself called as a requirement. Okay, then again you will work, development team will modify the application, you will test it, and then again when again demo will happen, you will show client, now I have modified the changes what you have told to me to do. So this way, in agile model, requirements comes in a chunks, small requirements, not the complete Facebook or Gmail application. No, some part of a requirements. Okay, once you will complete that, then the next part of a requirement. Once you will complete that, next then the third part of a requirement. Like this, first thing. Okay, in agile model, all the developers and testers work parallelly. That means, suppose uh, suppose this is 1 week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, 1 week. So in this 1 week, developer will do their respective job and testing team will do their respective job. But in waterfall model, when development will do when developers will do development on that particular phase of time, testing team can't test. In waterfall model, testing team can only test once the development will complete. See, understand the difference. In waterfall model, once the complete development of the complete Gmail application will complete, then only testing team will start testing. But in agile, it will go parallelly. That means simultaneously. If development are doing their work, at the same time testing are doing their respective job. Developers role is to just a second, just 1 second, just 1 second. Okay, so okay, so where were we? Yes, so that means in agile methodology, testing and the development team will do parallelly, continuously, simultaneously. Now, now you will ask me, what's the role of a developer? What developer will do when the requirement has been come to you? Okay, in agile, requirement has been come to you in the form of a user stories, in the form of a user stories. Okay, we will discuss later on about the user stories. So user stories, it's nothing but just the requirement. Okay, but in agile, we call requirement in agile we call the term for the requirement, the term is user stories. That means user stories means requirement. Suppose client said, boss, please create the functionalities for the inbox. So that requirement what client has given to you, that create the inbox functionality, that is nothing but your user stories. Okay, in agile the requirement has been called as a user stories. Okay, so this way user stories will come to you first of all. Now the question is, how did you get your user stories? Okay, so and who will create the user stories? Nowadays testers being very responsible, as in few of the company they tend to create the user story, but as per the agile model, business analyst will create the user stories. User stories is nothing but just a requirement which client will going to give to the business analyst. Understand the hierarchy. The client will not come to you directly ki, boss please this is my requirement or do this. No, there is a hierarchy, right? Suppose uh, like for example, in the parliament or anywhere they follow the hierarchy. Prime minister directly never come to the uh, janta or the people and talk. No, uh, uh, prime minister will uh, send their information to their juniors and their juniors. This way we have to follow some hierarchy. So what client will do? Client will discuss the requirement in the presence of the project manager and with the business analyst. Business, who is the business analyst? Every company will assign the business analyst. That means who will understand the complete business, who will understand the project, who will understand their risk, and who has a direct interaction with the client to understand the client requirement. Because you doesn't have a knowledge to understand the client requirement. Sometimes client has a fluent English and you are not able to understand. Sometimes client explain you some concepts, but being a junior or being a fresher, you don't understand, you don't have a knowledge of the business, right? So that is why company will always appoint a business analyst to interact with the client, and client will understand and client will tell the requirement, explain the requirement to the project manager and business analyst. And business analyst, what they will do, business analyst will transform their requirement in a simpler language. Okay, because client client cannot give you in a simpler language or in a sentence. Client simply said, boss, create inbox functionality, that's it. Now what business analyst will do, they will, in inbox functionality there are other small functionalities. Okay, so client will break that big functionality, the complete inbox functionality, into small requirements. That means into small what I call user stories. Like if I see my Gmail, what I can see in inbox, if I go in an inbox, right? So there are other functionalities also. Like we have a star in the inbox, in the right hand side. Every in the subject of every email, we have a star, right? Then we have a timings thing, then we have a label called compose. So all that is in the inbox page. So what client will only tell one functionality, a big one, complex. That means he create inbox. But what business analyst will do, he will break client's requirement into small requirements. Okay, like in the first requirement, check for the color of the background of the Gmail, of the inbox page only. Okay, in the other requirement, he will break the requirement into that time should reflect. If you will see your Gmail inbox, you can easily see just next to the Gmail you have a timings. Okay, so whether timings, this is one small user story. So likewise, what the client will do, business analyst will do, he will break the big requirement into small requirements, and that is called the user stories. Okay, then user stories come to you. Okay, there is a one person called a Scrum Master. Okay, we will take in this session only. What Scrum Master will do? Scrum Master will assign the user stories. He will assign the user stories to the development team as well as to the testing team. So, and that user stories or that work, it it has been that work will be going to do in any duration. Like you have to complete this work in a 2 weeks time. Okay, so that particular 2 weeks duration where we will complete the set amount of work, that is called the sprint. Okay, every company has their different set of like in few projects, not in every company, but in different projects we have a different requirement. In some project we have a sprint duration that is of 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, in some project we have a two weeks sprint only. Okay, but in other project we have a 4 weeks sprint only. That is not your call. That when project manager or the higher management will decide whether the sprint is of 2 weeks or 4 weeks. That will depend on the test estimation. That will the experience a candidate who knows that these stories can be done in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. With their experience and estimation, they will be able to set the duration. So that 2 weeks, suppose in the project, in the project which you are supposed to work, that their sprint duration is of 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. So that 2 weeks in which the complete team will complete the amount of work, that duration or that period is called the sprint. So here you can see the definition. A sprint is a short time box period. That means it's a some duration where a scrum team in agile, whatever team will work, they will describe their name is as a scrum team. But that team, suppose In a project, you have a team of 6 members. Okay, 6 members. In 6 members, one is the scrum master. Okay, two is the developers, and three are testers. Okay, so that team in agile model, in scrum, we call as a scrum team. Okay, in waterfall, we don't use the term scrum team. No, it is just the team. You can give in any random name, Pacific team, Asia team, anything, that is up to you. But in waterfall model, we don't describe it as a scrum team. Scrum team will only applicable in the agile model. So sprint is nothing but it is a short time box duration. For example, 2 to 4 weeks, where a scrum team will work uh, along, okay, to complete the amount of set amount of work. That means to complete the assigned user stories given to the development as well as the testing team. Okay, so for example, with Scrum, a project is built in a series of iterations called sprint that break down big complex project into bite-sized pieces. That means the same thing, a complete project. Suppose you have a complete project of creating a Gmail app. So Gmail app, it's vast. We have a plenty of functionalities in Gmail. Okay, we have security testing, performance testing, and we have a different functionalities. So it's a huge project. It's a big one. It is not the small thing. See, nowadays you are using Gmail application in your phone, in your laptop, in your iPad. So, but when Gmail application is going to create, that take a lot of time, 2 years, 3 years. It's not a small thing, it's a big project, right? Like, so this way, what agile and scrum will do, they will piece a big project, a big requirement into small requirements, into chunks, into iterations. Iterations is nothing but it will come uh, slowly in a chunks, in different iterations. Okay, in a series of some work, like in first series 3 requirement, in second series 2 requirement, in third series third requirement. So the complete process of this sprint, where a development team and testing team will work along to complete the set of user stories, that the complete process in agile is called the scrum, where we work in a requirement that comes in iterations, and that user stories or work will be done simultaneously by development and the testing team parallelly. Okay, and the complete this process is called the scrum. Okay, this is one thing. And sprint is nothing but it is a duration of 2 to 4 weeks, where the scrum team come along and complete the set of amount of work. Okay, what is meant by scrum? Scrum is a management framework. This is just a framework to make a project easy. You know, like this sequence, there's like, it's a framework, it's a sequence by which we follow and make our project or make our life easy. Scrum is a management framework that team use to self-organize and work towards a common goal. Everyone who is working for the project, they have a common goal, that they have to develop and test the application, and their common goal is to make the project successful and deliver the complete application to the client. So all the team members are working for the common goal, for the same goal, and their goal is to deliver the complete application to the client with, and that application should have good quality. Okay, that means your project is going to be success if you will deliver a good quality software to the client. Okay, so that is one thing. So scrum is nothing but a management framework that is going to use in the agile, where as a team we use to self organize our work. We organize our work in certain ceremonies or through some process, and we work along with the coordination towards a common goal. What Scrum defines? Scrum defines a set of meetings, few meetings, tools, roles, On that, by using all these things, we will reach to a common goal. Okay, and so basically Scrum process is to make our life easy so that we can organize our work and we can deliver the quality work to the client. Okay, agile is nothing but it is a process. Okay, it is the framework process that helps team structure and that helps team to manage their work with commitment, courage, focus, and respect. So, what are the 5 principles of Scrum? The below are the 5 principles of Scrum that we follow Scrum and deliver the work with. We have 5 values. Okay, we have to follow that values that we will complete the work with the full commitment, with the full hard work, courage, and we are focused that what we are delivering. Openness means we are feel free to communicate, okay, among team, among your developers, business analysts. Be vocal. You should have a good communication. Here communication plays the important role. Okay, you should be vocal. You can't sit idle by finger on the lips. No, you have to be vocal and with respect by doing the honest work. It should not like any, like kuch bhi kar diya. No, you can't do any random thing. With with commitment, with understanding, do best in your Scrum. Follow on the rules or principles of the Scrum. Okay, so this is the one thing. Now, how we plan and execute Scrum sprints. Okay, Scrum is a process, is a framework, and sprint is a time, is a duration where we as a team, development and testing team, we work along, we work as with good commitment, courage, and and uh, we will work in that particular duration. Okay, so the above, these are some terminologies that you should know what is sprint. If you are saying to someone, boss, I have a good knowledge of the agile, the first question he will ask, acha, you have a good knowledge, okay, tell me what is sprint, what is Scrum, tell me. Then you have to answer, you have to explain all these concepts, then only he will believe you that you know agile. If you will sit idle by finger on the lips, he understand that you are just faking, you don't know. Okay, so these are the terminologies or uh, process which you should know, like. Okay, now the thing is like how to plan and execute. That means how we will work on the complete agile in the complete Scrum activity, how we will work. So if you will see the diagram, we first have a project backlog. Okay, what do you mean the project backlog? So first of all, understand this. Whenever suppose you have enrolled into any project, okay, now it's time, work will going to be start. Okay, so if work will going to be start, the first activity in the agile, what is going to happen? Suppose you entered in the company into the project, this is your first day. Okay, even everyone has a first day in the project. Now your boss is saying, today we have a sprint planning meeting where we will get to know what work we have to do. Okay, so then sprint planning is nothing but it is one meeting. It is one meeting where few candidates will participate. So now the question arises, who will participate in the sprint planning meeting? Sprint, we like, you have to complete your deliverables or you have to complete your work in a sprint. Okay, 2 weeks sprint in a 2 weeks. So how you will do it? First, you will plan your sprint. Okay, like we plan our testing, same way we plan our sprint. How? By attending the sprint planning meeting. So in sprint planning meeting, now the question arises, first, the first activity in the agile, when you will start your work or when any new requirement come or any sprint will start, whenever any sprint will kick off or start, the first activity in the agile is the sprint planning meeting. If someone asks you, what is your first activity or what is your first ceremony uh, in the when you are about to start your sprint, you will say, my first activity when I have to start the sprint is to attend the sprint planning meeting. Okay, in sprint planning meeting, there are few candidates. The first is product owner. Product owner is nothing, is no one. He is a person from the client side. Okay, suppose McDonald owner wants to develop the McD application. If you have like everyone has eaten the McDonald's burger, right? So you know, like all the vendors who are working in the McDonald's outlet, they are doing something in the uh, laptop or system or something. What they are doing, they are playing with the McDonald's application. So McDonald owner will not come to you or to your business analyst or project manager to make you understand the requirement. No, McDonald owner has a lot other work to do. Okay, he's a big restaurant outlet owner. He will not because uh, uh, every time project is not with only one company. Project can be with the multiple companies. So he will not attend the meeting of every company. He's a big owner. So what he will do, a person from his company, from McDonald's company, will attend the meeting, and that person called the product owner. Product owner means his project. We are working on his product. Okay, suppose we are working on the Gmail application. So Gmail owner, okay, who is the owner of the Gmail app, he will not come to attend your meeting. No, he doesn't have this much time that for a small company he will come and attend the meeting. No, he's a big thing. Okay, so what he will do from his company, from Gmail company, like Google also has one company. So from Gmail company, he will assign one person to attend the meeting, to attend the sprint planning meeting, and uh, and tell you their requirement, what Gmail owner wants us to do. Okay, so that person called the product owner. He is the owner of the project. Like Gmail is the project, and he is not the owner. He doesn't own, but the term called project owner, that means he is the like he is dealing with all the requirement. He will give you the requirement, not the Gmail real owner. No, uh, the person from his team, he will give you that person will give you the requirement, and that person in agile called as the project owner. So what project so in that company, we have a project owner, we have a development team, developers, we have the testing team. Okay, we have the business analyst, because business analysts are the one who will break the big requirements into the small one and spread it along you. Okay, so business analyst, and the fourth important person called the scrum master. Now the term is the complete activity of Scrum is being tracked, or is being ruling by the Scrum Master. Scrum Master will take care of the complete Scrum activities. Okay, he is your first point of contact. If you have any obstacles, any hurdles, any problem, you will go to a Scrum Master. He will take care that every work is synchronized, every work is doing well, and all the ceremonies has been performed, all the documentation work, all your requirements. Suppose some new member added in the project, and he doesn't have a laptop environment. Okay, then he will go to the Scrum Master. He will say, boss, I am facing this problem, please help me. So all the obstacles being resolved by the Scrum Master. So in the sprint planning meeting, we have the project owner, number one. Second is the business analyst. Third is the Scrum Master. Fourth is the development team, and fifth is the testing team. Okay, and if you have the project manager can also participate. Okay, management from the higher management side. Okay, so these all 5-6 people will attend the sprint planning meeting. Okay, yeah. So sprint planning meeting. In sprint planning meeting, that will going to be held in a one conference room. Okay, company has one meeting or conference room where client will not come live, because say maybe your project is from US or Switzerland, Sri Lanka, or maybe China, anywhere. So what client will, by screen sharing, he will come into the Skype screen sharing, he will be vocal, and he will explain you the complete requirement. Okay, just one second. Okay, so he will be explaining you the complete requirement, and what is going to be the main functionality of the sprint planning, the main objective here, whatever requirements the project owner will give it to you, that requirement will be prioritized. Suppose client has given 10 requirements. Okay, then how you will get to know that which requirement you have to do first and which requirement you have to do last? How you will get to know? Okay, you don't know which is important and which is not important. Suppose your day has started in the morning, you will prioritize your day. What work I will do, what is important? No, this work is important, first I will do, and this work is least important, this I will do in the evening. Okay, you prioritize your day because this is your day, you are the owner of your day. But here, project owner is the owner of that particular app or application. He will tell you, so he will discuss with you, was for us, this requirement is of high priority, this is of less priority. This please, this pick up first and this pick up last. Okay, so on that discussion, prioritize of the user stories, prioritize of the requirement has been done in the sprint planning meeting. Prioritize and the estimation, project project owner and the team will discuss how much time we will take to complete it. Okay, in how much time, which has to take in first, or that, or if you have any queries regarding that, anything regarding the nature of the work, at what or you have any like you have any questions that is we can't do in this much time, let's break the functionalities in other small part, or let's give us some more duration on that thing, we can discuss in the sprint planning meeting. Okay, and also client will give you the overview, what they want, what are the requirements, or that discussion that is happened in the sprint planning meeting. This is nothing but the kickoff of any sprint. After the sprint planning will get over, then you will start your this the work of your the work in that particular sprint. Okay, so then okay, so what we will do in the sprint planning, through sprint planning meeting, we will uh, make out the sprint backlog. Okay, suppose uh, okay, suppose client has given you 30 requirements. Okay, for the Gmail app, client has given you 30 requirements. That 30 requirement is called the project backlog. Okay, that 30 requirements, it's called the project backlog. That means we have a 30 requirements for one project, for one Gmail app. Okay, in sprint planning, it has been discussed that which requirement of which user story has to take in first, which is to be last, in how much duration client wants to finish, and yeah, so and on that queries related to the work, if there are any obstacles regarding the environment and anything, they will discuss. Okay, then suppose out of 30 in that particular sprint, suppose now we are talking about the sprint one, that is of 2 weeks duration. In sprint one, we will pick only you can say out of 30 we will pick six uh, 5 requirements. Okay, for that particular 2 week sprint. I told you now, this is the agile, we can't take on 30 and started working. No, that requirement should be distributed or divided into some small parts. So the first part that contains the 5 requirements. We will do the 5 requirement, and that 5 requirement, and which are those 5 requirements out of 30 that your project owner, business analyst, and your team in the sprint planning will decide that, boss, these 5 are important, please do it first. Okay, so what is a sprint backlog? Sprint backlog is nothing but your 5 sprints. Okay, that is your sprint backlog. Okay, now in your project backlog, how many requirements are left? 30 minus 5, 25. Okay, so in your project backlog, 25 scripts now left, because you have already picked 5 out of 30. Okay, for the sprint, and that is your sprint backlog. Okay, then now you got the 5 requirements to work on. Okay, then now this is called the scrum team. I told you, development, testing team, all those who are working for those 2-week sprints, they have been called as a scrum team, a one scrum team working together. Okay, and that team, okay, that team, every morning when they come to the office to attend their project, then on the very same day they have a daily scrum, and that day it is nothing but just a meeting where all team members will gather together. Okay, and they will discuss. Okay, what they will discuss? First of all, the duration of the daily scrum is 10 to 15 minutes, not the complete picture or complete storytelling. No, it is just the duration of 10 to 15, or maybe sometime maximum 30 minutes. That's it. Okay, right. Okay, so this is the duration. This is called the daily scrum. It is nothing but the meeting. It is just a meeting of 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, where all team will come along together, either sit or stand, whatever, or in a meeting room, in a conference room, wherever. Okay, and that daily scrum will be the part where who will going to attend? The developers, testers, and the scrum master. Scrum master will work as a lead. He will lead that meeting. So scrum master will ask, suppose for example, suppose we have 5 members, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so on that 5 members, so what scrum master will do? Scrum master will say, let's start with the A team member. Okay, so what A team member, what he has to tell? He has to tell what he or she has done yesterday. So he will say, Scrum Master, I have done this. I have worked on this user story yesterday. I have created the test cases, or whatever he has done. He will tell, I have done this yesterday. Then he will say, and today. Now the question is, what he or she is doing today. Then he will say, today I am doing this. Then Scrum Master will say, okay, and what is your future work? What you are going to do it tomorrow? So he will tell whatever work has been given to it, that tomorrow I will do this. So that 3 activities, what he has done yesterday, what he is doing today, and what he will do tomorrow. That 3 activity, every team member A, B, C, D, E, F, G has to tell to the Scrum Master. Okay, and along with this, if suppose team member B has some problem, obstacles, hurdle, blockers, all that are the same words. Okay, understand the language. Hurdles means problem, obstacles. Okay, so if any team member has any obstacles, which stopping them to complete their work. Okay, so he will highlight that obstacle. He will say, Scrum Master, I am facing this issue. Okay, and please help me in resolving. Okay, this is one thing. Third thing, if he has some issue, if he has some issues, that can be, and or if he has any query, that he has to discuss with other team members. Suppose developer has one query, and developer wanted to discuss with the testing team, or any one name of the from the testing team. So he will say, yeah, Pallavi, I wanted to discuss, I have this query, which will stopping me to complete my work. So please yeah, please tell this. So on that, discussion among the team can be happen in the daily scrum, but a quick one, not the complete story like on a coffee or discussing everything. No, the quick progress of the project, okay, that has been discussed in the daily scrum. Okay, then we have a right. Okay, then we have the increment phase. Okay, now what is increment phase? So as you can see in the circle above there, it is given daily scrum, a daily scrum that is going to happen daily, and around 15 to 20 minutes we will discuss the progress of the project, who is doing what yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and yeah, and what are the problems we are facing, and if you have any query among the team members, we can discuss with the particular candidate. Okay, so this is called the daily scrum, and then if you will see the arrow, that is called the increment phase. It is nothing where we will increment, means we will initiate in progress with our work assigned. The work assigned means development team will work on that coding part, and testing team will create the test cases, and once the development team will deliver the code and make it that code in a state of ready to test, that time testers can pick and they can work. So this is called the increment phase, where they were now in progress with the development and the testing. Okay, after a 1 week, in the second week, 1 week goes with all these things: sprint planning, daily scrum, and your work, all that work. Then in the second week, initially in the starting of the second week, they have a sprint review meeting. This is nothing but this is itself, it's a meeting. Okay, meeting among all, among scrum master, uh, the complete scrum team, okay, maybe the business analyst, or maybe the project manager or someone. Okay, on that the complete team will go in a conference room, and they will do the sprint review meeting. That means they will review till now how much work we have done, what we have done, if we are facing any suppose if we are facing any issues, and how much work we have completed till now, how much work it's left to do, any obstacles, any queries regarding the work. Suppose development team has one query that I can't create this, or this code has some issues, so that they can discuss, testing team can discuss their obstacles, or the development team can tell, well, I have done this, now this is left. So on that discussion, the review of the work done, that is being taken care of in the sprint review meeting. Okay, after review meeting happens in the first 2 days of the second week. Then in 2 weeks, you all have to complete your work. Okay, so in uh, the last day of the second week, when your all your work of the sprint has completed, okay, then you guys have a sprint retrospective meeting. Okay, in the arrow you can see, okay, a sprint retrospective meeting at the last of any completed script. Suppose sprint is of 2 weeks, then at last day we will have sprint review meeting. That is the same thing along with the scrum master, development team, and testing team. And all apart from sprint planning, all other meetings has been led by the scrum master. Scrum master has the complete ownership. He will lead it. He will lead like he will be responsible. Suppose uh, he will be responsible like you have any, like head of the committee or head of the scrum. He will lead the team. Okay, fine. So he will lead the scrum activity. So what scrum master will discuss with you all in that respective meeting, that how's the sprint, whether it goes well or not. Okay, uh, what efforts we can make to improve in the next sprint. Okay, what we have done wrong in this sprint. Okay, what we have done good. Okay, and what can be improved in the future sprints. So all that discussion has been taking part of the sprint retrospective meeting. Why sprint retrospective meeting is going to be held? Because it will help you to improve your work, or you will not remove the, or you will not repeat the mistake again in the future sprint. Okay, so with the help of this sprint retrospective meeting, we will get to know what has been done with the current sprint, okay, and how we can improve that in the next future sprints. Okay, so all these sprint planning, daily scrum, sprint review, sprint retrospective, okay, they all are called the scrum ceremonies. Ceremonies like you have a engagement, marriage, reception, all are the ceremonies, all are some activities, ceremonies. Likewise, in the agile, you have a ceremonies called sprint planning, one ceremony, second ceremony, daily scrum, third ceremony, sprint review, fourth ceremonies, sprint retrospective. All are the ceremonies. And what about the project backlog, sprint backlog and increment? They are nothing, but they are the scrum artifacts. Okay. Artifact means scrum artifact means nothing but the uh, some uh, some activities, okay, some artifacts. Like artifact activities means something, like some either in the form of a document, either documents or process or anything. So they are called in the agile called as the scrum artifacts. So we have three scrum artifacts: project backlog, sprint backlog, and the increment. And we have five ceremonies, that is sprint planning, daily scrum, sprint planning, yeah, sprint review, and the sprint retrospective. Okay. So what this is, okay, this has been explained in a very small language, in a simple language. Then we have the Scrum folks really did think of everything in order to plan your upcoming sprint. You use the sprint planning meeting. Sprint planning is a collaborative event where the team answers two basic questions: what work can get done in this sprint, and how will the chosen work get done. That means, in sprint planning, as we discussed, we will discuss what work we have to do in this particular sprint. That sprint planning is only for the 2 week sprint. Again, when that sprint one will complete, and when again sprint two has to start, again we will do the sprint planning. So that means, for sprint one, we have a different separate sprint planning meeting. For sprint two, we have a separate. In sprint two, we will only discuss about the work that is going to happen in that two sprints. Sorry, in that 2 weeks. Okay. So sprint planning is nothing but a collaborative event. That means collaborative means along by taking everyone in the team, from the team, where the team discuss what how much work we have to do, what we have to do, and how we can prioritize. Choosing the right work item for a sprint is a collaborative effort, means is a teamwork between the project owner, what we have discussed, scrum master, and the development team. Okay, remember, only three candidates will attend. See, three means one is the project owner, that is from the client side. Second is the scrum master, who will lead all the ceremonies, who's your monitor, you can say, test lead, monitor, scrum master. In agile, we call this a scrum master, who will lead all the meetings and who will remove your obstacles. Then we have a development team. So now don't confuse. Here in agile, development team means developers as well as testers. In agile, we called it as a development team. Okay, but that means developers and the testers as well. So don't confuse. But it is just for the sake of the agile, we called it as a the complete team, developer and testing both, we called it as a development team. That is the agile methodology has given the name. Okay, so that is a whole team. Okay, the project owner discusses the objective that the sprint would achieve and the project backlog items that upon complete would achieve the sprint goal. The team then creates a plan for how they will win the backlog items and get them done before the end of the sprint. So that's what we have discussed. We will plan it, how we will complete our sprint backlogs, whatever requirements we have selected for that particular sprint, and how we will make it done. Okay, before the sprint one will get over. The work items chosen and the plan for how to get them done is called the sprint backlog. Okay, whatever work we have chosen, like we have in project backlog, we have 30 requirements, 30 items, and for the sprint one, we have chosen 5. Okay, so that 5, the work item you have chosen and their plan, how to get it done. Okay, so that is called the sprint backlog. That in that sprint one, we have 5 requirements to do, and that 5 requirement is called as the sprint backlog. By the end of the sprint planning, the team is ready to start working on the sprint backlog. That means by the suppose your sprint one is about to get over, okay, then what you will do, you will start working for the sprint 2 backlog. Okay, taking items from the backlog to in progress and done. So thing is like in sprint, suppose out of 5 requirements, 3 you have completed, you will mark it as done. 2 are still in progress. Okay, you will mark it as in progress. So once near about the closer of the sprint one, we can till that time we can state the work as that 2 requirement in the in progress state and 3 requirement in the done state, or if all 5 are in the done state, then mark it as all 5 as done. During a sprint, the team checks in during the daily scrum or stand up. During the team checks, as you know, we have to attend the daily scrum, or that is called the stand up as well. Daily scrum or the stand up, same thing, about how the work is progressing, kaisa kaam chal raha hai, okay, how, what is the progress of the work. The goal of this meeting is to challenge, is to face any blockers or challenge, because that can impact the team to in their deliverables. Okay, so Scrum Master will going to resolve your issues. After a sprint, the team demonstrate what they have completed during the sprint review. This is a team's opportunity to showcase their work to stakeholders and teammates before it hits production. In the sprint review meeting, suppose the sprint review meeting will be going to be held in the mid of the second week. Suppose your sprint is of 2 weeks, okay, and sprint review meeting is going to be held in the mid of the second week. So suppose in the mid of the second week, that means in the Wednesday of the second week. Okay, so till Tuesday, whatever work you have completed, you can showcase their work to your teammates, okay, or to the stakeholders. Stakeholders means either the anyone from the client side. You can give the little short demo, okay, or you can showcase your work to the higher management, okay, to the business analysts, to the managers, project owners, whosoever will attend the meeting. You can showcase your work. Boss, I have completed this work till now, and you can see how's the look and feel. It is looking fine. You can showcase them, okay, before you deliver the complete requirement. Okay, then okay, round out your sprint cycle. Okay, that we have already discussed. At the end of the sprint, almost the completion of your sprint, we will go through the sprint retrospective meeting. This is your team's opportunity to identify area of improvement for the next sprint. Okay, so here you can discuss about the improvement, okay, for the next sprint, so that we will not repeat the same mistake again and again. Okay, sometimes in life also we do some mistakes, and then we note that mistake and we will say, boss, next time I'm not going to do this mistake. So in the retrospective, we will discuss what mistake we have done and how we can rectify it, so that it will not be repeated in the consecutive, the further sprints. Okay, so this is the complete scrum process framework. Okay, understand the diagram. That's what we have discussed. Okay, in the complete scrum process, we have a in the complete scrum process, we have the roles. Okay, who roles mean in one scrum team, or in the complete agile process, of the Scrum process. Of the Scrum process, who will participate in the Scrum process? The roles are project owner, development team, Scrum master. Okay, they all are the roles in the Scrum process. Project owner, you know, a guy from the client side who will who will work as a messenger कि client की बात को he will deliver to you, right? Client's requirement he will deliver to you as a postman or as a messenger or the first point of contact. Okay, just one second. Okay, so this is the one thing. Then we have the development team. So as I told you, development team is are nothing but they are the testers and the developers. Okay, the testers and developer are together called as the development team in the agile. But remember, development team is different and testing team is different. Their role and job, their role is different. But in the agile or in the Scrum process, we call testers and developers as one development team. Okay, so this is the one thing. Just one second. Let me put the charger. One second. Okay. So yeah, so this is the one thing. Then we have okay. Then the second thing we have discussed artifacts. So here we have discussed three artifacts: increment, project backlog, and sprint backlog. Then we have events or the ceremonies which we have discussed: sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective, and daily sprint. That's what we discussed, right? Understand, clear. I have explained you in a very deep. Okay, but these are the three main thing in the agile Scrum process. If you will understand the functionality, the role of these three things, okay, the three concepts, if you will understand, you are kind of a master of agile or Scrum. I mean to say, being a fresher or being a new, you guys are very fortunate enough that you get the platform to understand this, because I took 6-7 years to understand this. I mean to say, I didn't get opportunity earlier. I got this opportunity to on these things in the very uh, in a very late in my experience. Okay, but being a fresher, you guys are very fortunate enough that you are understanding in your fresher time. Okay, so that will really help you in your CV, in your resume. It's a big add-on, or it's a big you can say it's a big plus point. Okay, because if if company has to select two persons, one is only manual tester and one is manual plus agile, then company will automatically select the person who knows the testing as well as the agile and the Scrum process. Okay, so this is the one thing. So I will again like to just revise this topic, and then we can end up the session, because I don't want you to get confused with so many concepts. Okay, so till now whatever we have discussed the complete Scrum process, how the Scrum process uh, uh, will take part. Okay, what are the roles in the Scrum process? Roles is the project owner, development team, and the Scrum team. Only these three has a role in the Scrum. Okay, in the sprint, then we have a artifacts. We have a project backlog where the complete requirement is there. In the sprint backlog, the selected requirements from that. Suppose in the project backlog we have 30, then in the sprint we will select that 5, and that selection will be held in the sprint planning meeting. Okay, there we can prioritize. Client will tell you that which is important to do first and which can be picked later on. Okay, so this is the sprint backlog. Okay, and increment is nothing but the in progress, your work progress. Okay, like in the increment phase, developer will do their respective job and testing team will do their respective job. Okay, and then we have the ceremonies. We have the different ceremonies that is being the part of the Scrum process. that is sprint planning. Okay, where you will prioritize your work and in how much time you will complete the work, and any queries related to the business, related to the requirements, if you have anything, or the complete discussion. Okay, that what is important, which to pick last, uh, or any requirement which you think that is quite complex, you are unable to deliver, that all you can discuss in the sprint planning. That is just the, it is the planning of the sprint meeting. Okay, and sprint planning includes your project owner, development team, scrum master, business analyst, project manager, all that. Okay, then we have the sprint review. So that will going to head in the second week, where you will showcase your work, whatever you have completed till now, among the owner, development team, scrum team, whosoever is a part of the sprint review meeting. You will say this much I have completed, or you can give the short demo to the client, and this is pending or that review. It's just a checking review of anything. Then we have a sprint retrospective, that is at the on the completion of the sprint, we will see how much sprint is successful, whatever has done good, what went good, okay, what went bad, and how we can improve it in future. Okay, these three things. If someone asks you what you've been doing in retrospective, you can say these 3 points. Then we have a daily scrum. Okay, daily scrum is nothing. Daily scrum is nothing, but it is here all the team members, the development team, all development team. That means developers and the testers. In Scrum, development team means developers and the testers. They will separately tell. Suppose uh, a candidate will suppose we have 5 candidates, then each candidate will tell what they have done yesterday, what they are going to do today, and what they will do it tomorrow. And if they are facing any obstacles, they can discuss with the scrum master, or if they have any query with the a team among, then they can discuss ki Pallavi, I have this query, please tell this. So on that they can discuss. It's a quick 10 to 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes scrum meeting. Okay, where all you participate, and this is going to head daily to track, so that scrum master will track the progress of the work. Okay, so this is your daily scrum. Okay, so this is the one thing. So I would like to end up the session here. Okay, because I don't want you to get confused. So this is all about the agile methodology. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, please type in the chat box, because even I should know, like, if you have anything, so you can type any questions. Any questions? I hope no. I hope everyone is awake. No one is sleeping. Am I audible? No questions? Nothing? I got the response from only one candidate, that is Raju Jakani. What others? Okay, no questions. Okay, fine. Okay, so happy Holi to you all. And now the session will be conducted on Thursday, because company because I your lead has decided to get you the off on Tuesday and Wednesday. So now the next session will be going to head on Thursday at 7 p.m. Okay. So yeah, so wish you all a very happy Holi. Fine. So now we can end up the session. Stay safe and play Holi. Enjoy.